Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. This is episode 57. We are continuing Trespasser, as last time we went through the deep roads and uncovered a Canary plot to essentially smuggle a bunch of Gatlock into the Winter Palace. We've caught a elven servant smuggling in a barrel, and it's clearly not that. So, we will be talking to our characters once again, as I believe it's kind of been in segments. Talk to your characters, go through the Alluvians, talk to your characters, etc., etc. So we're going to see if anyone has anything new to say. They may not. And then we will look for the Vitasala through an Alluvian near a bookshelf. Let's get into it. We'll start with our boy.
Everything going all right so far?
Okay.
We'll talk more another time.
All right.
I'll be here if you need me.
That is a sign that probably not going to have to talk to everybody today, but we have to check, because I'd get crucified if I didn't.
Inquisitor?
Yeah, okay. Like, I'm obviously going to be quite confident in that case that there's not going to be any updates. But it's tough when you're like, maybe. I might check in with some of the big players, considering we just had a conversation with them about the Canary, just to make sure.
I knew it was foolish to hope the Exalted Council would go smoothly.
Okay, there is some.
Has all this chaos changed your mind about the future? We must stay true to ourselves, Inquisitor, whether we fight or lay down arms. As long as we serve the people rather than our own agenda, we'll be on the right path. Perhaps later, Leliana. I'll be right here if you need anything.
Okay. So Liliana has something to say. Cullen did not. Cassandra should. We'll go and have a look. Outside of that, I don't know if we'll really have anyone else say anything. I might ask Iron Bull if he's got anything to say. But it won't be as extensive as last time when we ran through with the companions, for sure.
It is good to see you, my friend.
Nothing. Okay.
I'll see you later.
I don't even know if Liliana's thing was new now. I'm just like doubting myself. Okay. It hurts. It hurts to not get new dialogue. It also hurts to get stuck in between tables. Okay, I don't think you can go in there. Not that way. When will I learn? I can't jump over tables. I have to be polite. Let's see if Sarah's added anything here. Charges in the palace. No one will be sleeping. Rainier hugs harder than Blackwall. Still beardy. Josie is best here. Oh no, I've seen those. It was these. This. Not my hurt to keep. Dwarfy ruins now. Mirrors can get off. Canary all over everyone's things. Who steps on their old stuff? Not as bad for dwarves as was for Dalish, maybe. Barrack is fine. The undwarf. Tell Whittle, proper smart. She'll sort it. She'll add runes, make flowers and friends. Smush. Talking about Dagna. Elfie servants still all weird. Felt that things feel samey weird again. Thing again. But not where we were. Weird. There are many empty pages, and then one that is dog-eared. When wonder we wear Wander's Whittle. Words. A detailed drawing of Dagna smiling. It looks almost complete. The nose is especially life and button-like. Sarah likes Dagna.
Mixed with elves. Add dwarfs. Ugh, doesn't anyone drink their booze one at a time anymore? And the elves here are still squirrely.
We'll talk later.
Count on seeing you, yeah?
Yeah, that's cute. So what I really like is Sarah's is different in that she updates herself on what's going on here. You get to read it, and then she'll talk about it, which is a pretty unique one.
Wish I hadn't burned all my contacts with the Ben Hastrath. Be nice to have some idea what they're doing right now.
Yeah, but then you'd be on their side, Chief.
Yes, but I'd know things. I like knowing things.
Alright, cool. Iron Bull does have things to say, which is nice. You'd think so.
What can you tell me about the Kunari we're dealing with?
These aren't Ben Hastrath. They're specialists, working for a Vitasala. Ben Hasrath handle normal security. The Vidasalas people focus entirely on magic. They find it, they study it, they neutralize it. And they must be desperate if they're using Illuvians. I'd expect them to shatter any mirror they find.
I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, boss.
There were some Ben Hasrath agents that we did fight, because they were titled as such, but maybe just not the focus. And the deeper we went into the deep roads, I don't think we saw any. We saw more assassins and stuff.
Hello. Hello.
Alright, cool. Yeah. Cole's been reduced to nothing but a hello. So that's done. When will I learn? Good. I'm going to confidently state that I think I've spoken to the characters that most likely have things to say. And we're going to go to the Vidasala. Okay. Here we go. Picking our party once again. We will be running through the same arrangement. Yeah, I still think it's the best setup. No variety here today. Whoa! Okay, I thought that was like a dragon. I was like, the way that it was like so big, I thought that was like a dragon moving. It's just a pathway forming. Everybody relax. All right, tension's high. There's so much going on. So little at the same time. Which way are we going? Okay, we're just continuing out from down there. Cool. Look at them go. How much inventory do we have? 43, that's fine. They touched one of the eggs, boss. Now, last time we used that little egg and we went out that way, so that's done. But we must be on the lookout for more. Here's one over here. So we're going to use one of these. We're not gonna jump at the... Guys, always look where you're going. Always look where you're going when you walk across a magical stairway. And don't get confused while you're looking up. To be fair, I did fall straight through some solid rock there, but then it is magical rock, so it's not really solid, is it? Hiya! There are so many mirrors just stacked up in places. A lot of dead bodies. Snake makes me think to Vinter, but then there's also Hala. Crumpled page. This note is written in an unknown language, but the portly figure at the bottom with a ring of keys and an unflattering scowl is likely a jailer who once walked these flagstones. He's been drawn cross-eyed, with wiggling lines radiating from his backside, okay? So this is like a Sarah-style drawing. Without it being like... I don't know. That's totally a Sarah thing to do, though. So we're in a jail. We have a bunch of Illuvians. We're about to fight a bunch of enemies, because this happens every time.
Let's kill the damn demons already!
There we go. Close quarters. Nice. The skin that's something. Notes on methods of enchantment. Notes on 4th attempt. The weave goes smoothly. Bound tightly between many items, the stress on the energy produces finer results than a singular enchantment. Using up the last of the stock was well worth it, as I explained to it as a courtesy before final work began. Adjustments to the underlay were a great success and will allow the recipe to be made with material taken from lesser animals if the need arises. Below the letters, possibly in lieu of a signature, is the stamp of a stylized Hala head. Taken together, diagrams and ratios carefully inked at the bottom of the last of these notes could be turned into a schematic that replicates the creation of these artifacts. So possibly in lieu of a signature, a stylized Hala head. I feel like for those that are more well-versed than me, that probably identifies who's writing this. My first thought was thinking it was like it could have been like notes written by the elven god that was associated with the Hala, but that's only because of their association with the animal, but I don't know. Or it's just some sort of elven leather worker, but who knows? They didn't name a name, so you never know. We got the skin that stalks. Oh, that looks really cool. Maybe the armor on the arm is a little massive. It looks huge, but I like this. I kind of wish the armor was a little more subtle. It looks like she's wearing a shoulder pauldron on her wrist, but the red and the black is really cool. Okay. What is the taken shape? The leather of this armor gives us a faint living heat. It is heavier than it looks, but the weight and warmth are somehow comforting. The armor makes little noise in motion, and after a surprisingly short time, wearing it feels quite natural. This is a massive upgrade to me. So this is definitely, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's restricted to a specific class. So anyone can wear it. I don't think that works for him. That is awful. What happened to his arm? This is something that happens, right, with Iron Ball specifically, which is really funny, which is when he is wearing anything that isn't his original armor, like this is this is Iron Ball's arm, right? When you put him in the Canary Arashock armor, it changes his body. His body is changed. His arms are different. It's so weird. And it does that for everyone. Like, there's the DLC gear that gives everyone a beautiful six-pack. It's the same premise, except this is fucking awful. That is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Look what they did. Like, they didn't think to factor that in for Bull's arm. Surely they could have done that. Like, 'cause like, that's ridiculous. Look at that. Look at that. I can't stop looking at it. Dorian looks really good in it. I think I've got to give it to him. Dorian looks amazing in it. That's great. It's a good little upgrade for him. Which means what I might give him is all of the other pieces as well, because he gets attack speed, movement speed, and plus 1% heal on hit with everything else. So I might do that. Kind of looks cool on me, but I prefer my actual elven set. I put a lot of work into making this look pretty. So we're going to give this to Dorian, which means I need all of the other pieces. So we're going to give him the eye that weeps. He's already got the hand that cuts, so I actually already gave him that. What else was there? There was also a belt, I think. So someone's wearing a belt right now. I think someone's wearing a belt right now. That is what I need. The bind that guides. There it is. So take that off. I'll give Cole a belt of urgency. And Dorian can have his... Actually, I'll give... Yeah, there we go. So he's got the Eye That Weeps, the Bind That Guides, the Hand That Cuts, and the Skin That Stalks. So he now has all of those little abilities. And I might give him Duke's Mane as well, because that's a big old upgrade there. Unless... I'll give you Duke. No. You keep your Dread. Yeah, I'll give this to Dorian. It's a good thing you can't see them wearing it, because that would not look good. There you go. This was worth showing off because now we've obtained all the pieces, and yeah, Dorian looks fabulous. Fabulous. Some nice armor upgrades there. We got a complete set. We'll try and forget about the image burned into our brain of Iron Bull wearing that. Lovely. Now let's go through the main one. We've found our Alluvian near a bookshelf. Book from the Crossroads. Its pages are filled with numbers and letters splattered around the page in random order, like writing in a dream. Every other book on its shelf is filled with the same nonsense script. In certain lights, the letter appears to shift slightly out of the corner of the eye. That's cool.
An alluvian marked by a bookshelf. This should be it.
Good. Time to get some answers from the Vidasala.
This slim journal was tucked into a bookshelf in the Crossroads, as if left for someone to find. Each entry is in a different hand. Oh, this is cool. It's like a little book for anyone who's coming through to like add their updates to, that no one would find unless they knew about it. Except for right now, where someone just threw it on the ground carelessly and I picked it up. I've dropped rocks off a dozen ledges. I've not heard one hit bottom. This place has no bottom. Do not be here if you have no tasks here. An entry in Kunlat follows. Emmett missed the rendezvous. He said he was scouting the lower ledges on orders. Another entry in Kunlat follows. Understood. No one's to go near that mirror. We can understand Kunlat now, apparently. I'll just say that Iron Bull read it for us. Time to get some answers from the Vidasala.
Is this some sort of old elven library?
It definitely saw a massive magical backlash some time ago.
Let's hope we can track down the Vidasala in all this.
Crossroads Library? That is... Look at that over there. That is upside down. Oh, okay. That's upside down waterfalls. Wow. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Let's take a look. Oh, that's weird. Sometimes we've had situations where the search, because it is a wider search, it picks up things that it probably shouldn't, like just random objects that game developers have probably put in the background for whatever reasons they have, so I'm not sure if we can get behind there. Just weird. Vidathara, Signs of Victory. The pages of this book, Memory, describe a monument made in a single afternoon by 1,000 toiling servants swarming over a lump of fallen stone as large as a collapsed mountain. By the end of the day, the stern figure of Elganan stares down into a valley carved out from the foothills of the rock. The slaves have disappeared. Light radiates from the Eidolon's narrowed eyes and its open, snarling mouth. Hail Elganan, first among the gods, mark his victory eternal. So, like, ceremonies for, like, announcing themselves as gods. Oh, man. The way that with a single DLC or with a few specific codex entries, all of that sort of, like, love and worship that we had for the elven lore is tainted. So tainted now. Virdathara, Exile of the Forbidden Ones. The pages of this book, Memory, show the blazing forms of the Evanurus banishing a howling spirit from the reaches of the Fade that touch their lands. A voice rings out, stern and imperial, for abandoning the people in their time of greatest need, for casting aside form to flee to where the earth could not reach, we declare Zebenkek and others of her ilk exiled from the lands of the Evanurus. Beware, their familiarity with shape allows them to travel paths unaided. They may be bound, but only the protection of your gods will fully shield you from their malice. They are forbidden from the earth that is our right. Zebenkek is like Gaxkang and like those people, right? Exile of the Forbidden Ones. I'm pretty sure Zebenkek is included in that group of names that includes Gaxkang. Virdathara, Homecoming. Pages of this book, Memory, describe an elf approaching a city of glass spires so deeply blue they ache. The city's outskirts are wrapped in lakes of mist, and figures stroll along the pearly glowing strips as if they walked on solid ground. Groves of trees woven into enormous parks shelter elves in quiet hollows, while other elves walk below a river churning along an invisible shoal in the air. The scene hums with quiet talk and contentment as the Memory's maker reaches the city's gates, already thrown open wide. Oh, we've got wraiths. Hello. Look, there's someone there. There's just a Canary in full armor just chilling there, upside down.
Andaran Atishan, Methadra Elven.
More ancient Elven.
If you wish, honored Elven, I will speak so your guests understand. I am study. I am a learning thirst. Come, know what has not been lost. New words, new stories. The Kunari would not approach, but we learned their words as well. If you wish to exchange knowledge, they congregate by the lower gate.
So the archivist, and also just speaking to us, being like, hey, honored elf.
What did the old elves use this place for?
This is the Virdathara, the living knowledge of the Empire. The libraries of every city, the wisdom of every court. A connecting place whose paths are in disarray.
Quite literally a crossroads of knowledge.
What put this place into disarray?
The Virdathara was made with world and fade. When they sundered, so did we. Paths broke, knowledge fragmented, many were trapped. I preserved their last words.
What were these old elves' last words?
What happened? Where are the paths? Where are the paths? God save me, the floor is gone. Do not let me fall. Do not let me... on this spot, that is all.
Thanks. Really paints a picture.
This was also made from the Fade.
I'm looking for a Kunari named Vidasala. Do you know what she wants here?
Vidasala, yes. She uses scholars and mages for study. They fear this place, but they seek to know the Veil.
What does Vidasala want to know about the Veil?
I regret I do not have more information. I am sundered from myself. If you discover another one of me nearer the Kunari, I may know more. Kindly give it my greetings. I have not thought with myself for some time.
Huh?
I could learn so much about my people. What were they like? How long is our history?
I will try to recall Honored Patron, but there are gaps, breaks. Greetings, laughter, Ema and Nasal, forms out of air, light, memories. And yet there are so many broken paths at every missing.
Stop, please, stop. You don't need to hurt yourself.
Yes, wisdom from compassion. Yes, I will stop. Apologies. I knew all once. We knew. With the break, only fragments or knowledge new since the fall.
We'll be going now.
Know this. An unknown person, not of the Kunari, recently woke the librarians.
An unknown person. Could this be our agent of Fen'Harel?
The librarians facilitated learning before the fracture, before the fall. Now, beware them. They are unwell.
Librarians. You right over there, guys? Need a hand? You look a bit stranded. Look at that! They're just standing there. They're like, oh, we accidentally got onto this rock. We'll just wait for help, I guess.
There, Kunari. On that upside-down island.
Shivering, wide awake, watching for demons. This isn't home. This isn't home at all.
That repaired some steps. Let's look around for more. The inverted alluvion must lead to the Kunari.
This is so cool. We're in like ancient elven MC Escher painting.
Did you notice? Your anchor is flaring up near magic. Elven magic.
It doesn't hurt when I cast spells. What's causing this?
I'm not sure. Tell us if it gets worse.
Well, it's so similar to the anchor. The anchor was caused by accident because we walked into this room with this orb, which Corypheus had, which Solus gave to Corypheus for some reason. And he said that he was too weak to open it or use it when he woke up from his slumber. I can't remember which word he used. With regret in his words, and then we have this anchor, and he's obviously aware of that power. He's like, the first thing that Solus does with us is when we meet him is he helps put our hand through sealing the rift. Because it's like this magic. A flowering imago, or imago, I don't know how that's said. These pages of the book describe an immensely tall, immensely graceful vine that flowers with the heat of a copper sunset and has blossoms as large as ponds, petals as long as a man, and scents puffing out like citron and sky and carrion death. The day the last of the vines folds, spent and extinct, the creator of this memory weeps, and after recording the flower's sights and sounds, enters Euthenera. Treasure this thought, for it was the last of its kind, and so much more than the last of me. Here's the thing. Not only are we in this amazingly beautiful place where it's just giving us and feeding us lore, we're walking through an ancient elven crossroads library. So there is so much more. The Jewel of 100 Years. The pages of this book show a narrow plateau on top of a mountain. 2 armored figures, one in gold, one in black, are fighting in the snow. Steel flickers so fast the air hums. Blood dots the ground. They do not stop for breath. The one in black makes no sound as a blade parts his throat. Mithal, in her wisdom, interceded in an argument between Elganan and Falon Din. With clever words, she convinced them to settle their grievance through a battle of their champions. Elganan and Falon Din agreed and set their champions against each other rather than declare war among the gods. May those nights long be remembered and Mithal's wisdom praised. So, Solus the Dreadwolf seals all the gods away. Mithal is betrayed and murdered. And the Dreadwolf was her friend. Attentive listeners, the pages of this book show a solemn group of elves in an amphitheater of living wood. Entire trees grown into seats and stairs for the listeners to recline on. 2 other elves, in a spirit of learning, are speaking in turn on ways to bend the prosperities of the material world when casting spells. At the end, the spirit, with the air of a senior lecturer, floats forward and booms in a surprisingly deep voice. The unchanging world is delicate. Spells of power invite disaster and annihilation. The unchanging world is stubborn. The pull of the earth fiercely resists, making fire run like water or stone rise like mist. The unchanging world rings with its own harmony. Listen with fearless hearts, and great works will unfold. The unchanging world rings with its own harmony. There's so much song going on. So much song going on. Birds of Fancy. Pages of this book describe a pair playing, colliding in the air, bodies formed for kissing, stroking, lines of heat as molten as the sun. The dance is fluid, roiling, never-ending. Lovers tangled in a laughing knot that rolls on for years, a promise never to be parted, whatever ages come. An annoyed thought intrudes from one who marked this memory after it was recorded. Why the gods find a private chamber? Interesting. This is so huge what's taking place here. And very overwhelming. We're trying to take the lore as it comes, but we need to, you know, I got my thinking cap on, but I'm also being chill, right? Settling down. I'm seated, I'm listening, I'm paying attention. Elven mosaics. We're upside down, and there are 2 mirrors with different headers on each one.
These Kunari are dead, but there's not a mark on them.
Backs hunched, eyes wide open. They were scared shitless when they died.
It looks like you could veil fire these things, but I'm not sure if I need more evidence. I need to have a bit of a look around. But nothing's coming up on the search. It doesn't seem like I can interact with them. Also, it's very ominous that they're all skulls. Like, what's the deal there? Our magic reacted to this. Oh, actually, hang on. Does that work? It doesn't look like that does anything. Our magic reacted to one of these when we arrived, but maybe we need something more. another archivist.
Welcome, welcome. Listen to the last words of those who lived past the fall. How could the dread wolf cast a veil between the world that wakes and the world that dreams? The Evenuris will send people. They will save us. When have you last heard from the gods? When the veil came down, they went silent. What is this veil? What has Fen'Harel done?
Are these records saying Fen'Harel created the veil between our world and the Fade?
They're saying some guy just made the veil? We must have been ass deep in demons before then.
If it's true, that means the Fade and the waking world were once one and the same.
Why isn't Cole saying anything? That's fucking huge. The veil is a spell. It's not the way of the world. It's not how things were. The Fade and reality, the physical world, like the same. Were they like layered together and then they were and then after they were separated? What the hell? The veil is a spell. It's not how it's always been. So when there is a tear in the veil, or like breaches, that's like parts of the spell being like weakened or taken down. And then there are spells to repair the veil that have been done over time, like with Sophia in Dragon Age Origins, when you make that deal with the demon. But then... Wow, okay, when did that... I wonder when that happened, because then you've also got the Maker... Because this starts going into the Maker stuff with the Golden City. Like, this is a whole physical location within... That was created both with the Fade and with the physical world. And then when the veil was cast, that's the break, and this place broke. This place split apart because of it. So there was some sort of golden city that was also created or built that can exist within the Fade, and then it was tainted when the Tevinter Magisters arrived, but it truly makes me wonder who the Maker is, what he's associated with. Are they tied to the Forgotten Ones? It's so much to think about, because it's really hard to take on board lore and big information and then just act like your day is okay. Like, I have to take on that information and speak about it, but I can't really construct and theorize things properly and sit down with all of the lore and connect all the pieces. I have to try and do that on the spot during a Let's Play, and it's just like, oh, my brain hurts. Alright, at least what we have confirmation on is the Veil is a spell created by Solus, the Dreadwolf. And I assume that happened around the time that he also sealed the gods away, which may have just also been the same event.
Floating crap, magic mirror crap, evil demon crap. When this is over, I'm gonna need somebody to hit me with a stick again.
I'm not sure whether I want that to be a metaphor or not.
Next time we get the gang back together, let's do a dragon instead. Dragons are fun.
I can do that for you. I've still got dragons sitting around. Solus is single-handedly responsible, well, maybe not single-handedly, but pretty much single-handedly responsible for how Thedas exists. How everything that we know, everything that's been established, was done by him with this veil. The world that we have played in and existed in and learned so much about, and all of its rules and how things work, and the Chantry with their veil, and All of that stuff has come up because of a spell. Well, this looks like our egg. This looks like our egg after a shower and he's putting on his bath towel. And then this looks like our egg again. Look at these symbols. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But there's clearly another part to this. I wish that, like, your characters in the game could actually interact with and discuss, like, when you see murals like this, like, you've got, like, the lore with the mosaics and stuff, but not, like, you don't go, hey guys, look at that fucking thing, that's pretty weird. These loose pages are scattered about as if abandoned in a great hurry. Algebraic-looking formulae crawl across the pages, spiked with dense annotations in Kunlat.
This looks like technical notes. What did the Kunari come here to learn?
They're real technical. I can't make out any either. Something about magic. That's it.
I recognize some formulas. The Kunari are trying to prove theoretical magic of some kind.
They trying to work out the veil? The treachery of the wolf. The pages of this book warn of a terrible danger. A wolf with slavering black jaws and pits for eyes. The Evanurus, the elven gods, stand in a ring around it. Oh, that's what that mural is. So, okay. Stand in a ring around it as if preventing it from attacking. Beware the forms of Fen-Harel, the dread wolf comes in humble guises, a wanderer who knows much of the people and their spirits. He will offer advice that seems fair, but turns slowly to poison. Remember the price of treason, and keep in your heart the mercy of your gods. Ooh, elven propaganda. The smear campaign of the Dreadwolf. Do not trust the one that frees you from slavery, for you will suffer the consequences if we so deem it. But remember, we're nice. So that's what the mural is. That is the Dreadwolf. He has like a pit of eyes. Surrounded by the gods. And then beware his form. Sometimes he is holding an orb, sometimes he is in a bathrobe. Requires veil fire. God damn it. That's another thing, right? With the veil fire. Oh. Give it to me. Also, just like the concept of veil fire is obviously connected to this spell of the veil as well. Okay, well, I'm gonna need to... I need to get veil fire from somewhere. So let's continue to take a look around, I suppose. Okay, hold on. There's another mirror. Oh. Lovers. What is that? Is that invaluables? Lovers not left half, lovers not right half. 3 of each. Don't know what that really pertains to, but I guess we will find out. I'm gonna need you guys to move out of my way. Okay, I'll just do this and then the Inquisitor can just teleport. There we go.
These blocks are heading toward that upside-down Illuvian.
Creepy. Helpful, but creepy.
It's a place of learning. Maybe this Vir Dathara is helping us find what we need.
Now it's even weirder.
When the Dreadwolf's gaze is bright. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. Now we go back over there. Cool. The light burns in a ring of the dead. Cool. I was thinking it might have been tied to that because obviously those are the Veilfire things, but I was still thinking I might have to find Veilfire and bring it to that place. Alright, well at least now we know what we're doing. So we light it, then we need to quickly run over there, grab the Veilfire and come back. Wait, is this where I came from? Yes. Oh yeah. No! No way. I'm carrying my Olympic torch. Protect the torch! So many secret things to do here. It's amazing how much time we can spend. Okay. We have possessed the Veilfire, so now I return it up there. Sword called Rhyme. Etched into this blade, the way is full of tests and danger. Watch with the coolness of contemplation to stay safe. Cold Enchanted. All weapons attacks deal cold damage, and on hit, deal cold damage in an area around the target. Cool. Not a very strong sword, and also we're not going to be giving that to Iron Bull, because he is a two-handed warrior, but still cool nonetheless. I'm not sure if we'll need Veilfire for anything else, so I'm going to try and hold on to it. Hey guys, can you deal with that? We have a canary problem. Never mind. Every time combat starts, I have to like manually lower the volume of the game because the combat is so fucking loud compared to everything else. So that's why I get like hit. Lowering game volume. I hate it when you drop the torch and if you go a little too far away, the torch disappears. Bit of a shame. But hopefully we don't need it for anything else. If so, it'll probably give us access to it. Alright, time to go. Discharging the anchor now deals damage to nearby enemies. Anchor blast.
That's
Okay.
really not getting better, boss.
The pain stopped.
The magic here wakes it. Familiar, strong, ripping apart again. All again.
Huh. Okay. Ripping apart again, all again. I wonder if our anchor, our magic here in our hand has the ability to undo the veil entirely. Does Anchor Blast work on these things? It does! We can finally blow up the Gatlocks. Okay, now if we go back to the Deep Roads Alluvion, we can go to those places where the Gatlocks are. I'm gonna go do that right now. Okay, here we are. We're going to try this now on this wood. I have achieved the power of destruction. Sigil of the Tusket, okay. Quite useless, but that's alright. And that means we can now go out here and go blow up these Gatlocks. I knew that there were things. Yeah, it stood out way too much when we saw it. So this is awesome. So you get Anchor Blast, and that allows you to blow up the Gatlock. And luckily it does no damage to us because we're invulnerable when we cast it. Teehee. Yeah. Yeah. Hidden Armory. I just got 50,000 gold. Oh my god. I'm looting the entire... Oh my god. Oh my god. How much money is that? That's a lot of moolah. We got a lot of valuables in there too. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. Well, how about that? Okay. I don't know if that cup in particular was something, or whether it was just showing us, hey, there's definitely something you can do here. Awesome. So we got 50,000 gold times, like, what, 5? We got a lot. Very cool. Now we're going to go into the second Alluvion, because there was Gatlock in the Deep Roads blocking a cavern. So the Deep Roads is completely submerged. How cool is that? Totally flooded. But do you know what isn't flooded? Conveniently, the one walkway that we were looking at to blow up!
We should see where that leads.
Oh, it leads to another Alluvion. I'm being rewarded for my curiosity right now, that's for sure. Where are we going? An unknown ruin. With veil fire. Okay. Oh, it's another mural. Where the Dreadwolf's Dreadwolf's gaze blazes, paths are brought to light. Why am I walking so slowly? What was that? Is it because there's some sort of weird smoky effect? Oh! Ah! What the fuck? Why did it move?
It didn't work.
Oh, hang on a sec, wait. How did we get it to... How did it move? What did we...
Look at this mural. Hold on. I see something hidden in it.
Egg. Egg. Veilfire runes in the deep roads. In the light of the Veilfire, the runes seem to shift, coiling and uncoiling like snakes. A thunderous voice shatters the stillness, shouting, "Hail, Mythal, adjudicator and savior! She has struck down the pillars of the earth and rendered their dements unto the people. Praise her name forever." For a moment, the scent of blood fills the air, and there is a vivid image of green vines growing and enveloping a sphere of fire. The vision grows dark, an aeon seems to pass, then the runes crackle as if filled with an angry energy. A new vision appears. Elves collapsing caverns, sealing the deep roads with stone and magic. Terror, heart-pounding, ice-cold, as the last of the spells is cast. A voice whispers, "What the Evanurus in their greed could unleash would end us all. Let this place be forgotten. Let no one wake its anger. The people must rise before their false gods destroy them all." Mythal has struck down the pillars of the earth and rendered their dements unto the people. Would she rendered their dements unto the people? To me, just at face value, without maybe thinking too heavily about it, talking about either the Titans or Lyrium, like render. What is? Hang on. I need to read it. I need to see what this word means. Demesne. Demesne. What is this meaning? A piece of land attached to a manor and retained by the owner for their own use. Region or domain. So, rendered their dements unto the people. And green vines growing and enveloping a sphere of fire. Elves collapsing caverns, sealing the deep roads with stone and magic like an aeon later. What the Evanurus in their greed could unleash would end us all. Let this place be forgotten. Let no one wake its anger.
The runes say the Evanurus fought the Titans. They mined their bodies for lyrium and something else. It's not clear.
Okay. Okay. Oh, holy shit, the silhouette is a Titan. Whoa, you can see the hand. I can see that now. And Solus cast this spell down the bottom of it. And then the Titans and the lyrium went to the people, to the dwarves. What the fuck? What is... Oh, hang on. I think I'm leading it with the Veilfire. Hold on. Wait a minute. When I look away, it follows me? Yeah, it's moving. It's following me. Okay. So if I get him to look at this and get his eyes lit, and then I keep my eyes on the wolf, and then I press the button. There we go. Oh. I was waiting for something to happen. Heart of Pride. Being near this staff gives one the sense of being vastly better than everyone and everything around when holding it. The bearer hears faint laughter, and fade energy clings to it desperately as a drowning sailor to drifting wreckage. So we've got the Heart of Rage, and now the Heart of Pride. Permashock. All nearby enemies are constantly shocked. Grants 50% bonus resistance to electricity and 50% attack speed, and also plus 48 willpower, which is amazing. What's Dorian got? Dorian's got Hakon's Wisdom, which gives just a lot. It's a very powerful staff. But, yeah. I think I'll keep what we have, but holy shit. Just the lore of that is amazing. I'm so glad that we read that and I correctly could be like, okay, this feels like it's like Titan lyrium stuff. And it was. Look at, okay. Now we haven't seen the Titans physically, but they have a physical presence. That's for sure. And then they were torn apart. Oh, there's a lot to think about today, guys. There's a lot to think about. Don't you just love Dragon Age lore? Honestly, all of the sort of gameplay issues aside, with like how many like fetch quests there are and things to do in the world that really kind of can tire you out, it cannot be understated. Like, just how perfect the lore has been. Especially in this game, like the strength of the writing, the payoffs that have been put into place since Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. They've taken so much information there and just fed it to us beautifully here. The way everything is tying in to each other, like, really kind of feels to me like more and more, the more lore we discover, more and more I feel like the next game is like the big one that's going to just potentially end Dragon Age as we know it, because this game has like shone such a light on all of the truths and secrets and questions that we've had for so long. Like, we have so many more questions, but this game is like revealing so much about the rules of the world, what we know, the Veil, ancient elves, all of it, that it feels like with what they're now building to, with the revelations we've experienced towards the next game, that I'm gonna have a hard time thinking that they're gonna continue. You know, it feels like they could wrap up the world as we know it, which could potentially lead to more things later, but it almost feels like this sort of is a book coming to a close, in the sense that we've been introduced to this world with like the Veil and the Fade and the physical world, and it's all separated, but learning that it used to be together. Are we going to bring everything together again? Are we going to tear the Veil down? Will we reset the world in that sense? We're only in like the middle of the Dragon Age in terms of the timeline. There's still like another, 60 years, another like 56 years to be exact, to go until the next age. This has been a very busy age. Okay, so there were some secrets tucked away there once we learned the ability to blow up some, Gatlock. How cool is that? Now, what we should also do before we go down here, is we need to go back, Yeah, we're gonna go back into that room, and then we're gonna go through the other mirror. That's where we need to go. Going this way now. When we also think about maybe the state of BioWare as well and how things are going, the confidence in the continuation of a Dragon Age series as well also feels quite troublesome and quite low, so maybe that's also playing into my thought process of could they potentially be preparing or gearing up for Dragon Age to end with the next game. And that's why they're like, oh, maybe we don't need the writers anymore. As fucking terrible as that is, because it's like, why wouldn't you use their amazing talent on something new? But, you know. That's just us getting into so many different politics in video game development after that. Fade touched honeycomb. We already have that weapon. We've got the staff. The Cudgel of Gold and Ebon Queen. But yeah, fucking insane what is going on right now. I tried. Was it worth one attempt at least to see if you could jump onto the spinning island? Of course it was. And just the way that it continues on the established lore with the Titans from the Descent DLC as well is also really powerful. I'm stuck. That's where we just were. Yep.
More dead Kunari with terrified expressions.
I'm waiting for, like, if we're gonna, like, flip this place upside down and explore the other part of it or something.
Welcome, and listen to the last words of those who walked this place. If we get out of here, I will end Fen-Haral. After he held back the sky to imprison the gods, the dread wolf disappeared. Lies. We must tear down the veil, the cities, the pathways. Without magic, they're crumbling. You're wasting your time. Fen-Haral's veil has turned our empire to ruins.
So, the ancient Elven Empire collapsed because the veil weakened magic.
If the old elves relied on magic even more than the Vince, no wonder things went to crap when it dried up.
Do you realize what this means? What this place is? The actual history of the elves could change everything.
I'm really quite shocked that Cole hasn't said anything to either of these situations. These guys are talking, which is good. Why isn't Cole saying anything? He should have some feelings. And Dorian and Ironball have had multiple of these. Cole's just had one so far.
Look at this place. Now that we have so many samples, how hard would it be to build Illuviens of our own?
Mirrors to places that mirror what you've seen in those places.
Is that approval? Hard to tell with you.
You want to bring some good, a piece of the past that aches to think it's lost.
After these past few years, it would just be good to create something magical that is also helpful for a change.
Thank you, Cole. It's always a shame when you bring someone along being like, they would be perfect for this. Alright, I need Veilfire. I might be able to get it from here. If not, I will find some and come back here. Usually, we're supplied with Veilfire when we need it. Look. The game completely decided to stop rendering them, but they're the same. There, it's the same as the orb that Corypheus had. It's the same. For some reason, the game doesn't like to, like, render it properly. So weird. What? Wait. Wait. Why is Varric's Heart in Hightown in the Crossroads? Chapter question mark. What? Alright, hang on. Because we've got so many chapters and we haven't read yet. Alright, let's read this chapter. We'll read the other ones later, but this is so strange. This is like 50 years in the future. And Varric's still riding hard in Hightown. Donnan wiped spilled ale off the bar, listening to the cries of the birds and the crashing of waves outside. Another slow day on the Amaranthine coast. The tavern didn't get many visitors, just a little too far south of the Antivan border to catch the caravans, but he hadn't opened it to make a profit. He poured some noxious Ander stout from an oak cask into a heavy tankard and carried it outside to a dark-haired nobleman on the patio, idly strumming a lute so out of tune it sounded like some other instrument, perhaps a tuba or a kettle drum, trying to invent music from scratch. Donnan handed over the tankard, only half hoping it would stop him from playing anymore. "That's very kind of you, guardsman." Thankfully, the gentleman set aside his lute and took the tankard, putting his feet up on the table in front of him. "It's just Donnan these days," he replied, looking out over the waves. "My time in the Kirkwall Guard is over." "It's never really gone," the nobleman smiled. "Kirkwall. It finds a way into your soul, and once it gets there, you carry it always." The sun was setting behind them, casting long shadows from the tavern down to the water. A flock of cormorants took advantage of the fading light to dive for fish, making their way back out to sea. I'm sorry, just need to take a water. My voice is strange from all of this lore reading. Maybe so. Donnan smiled too. But the world can always use a champion or a guardsman wherever they happen to go. The gentleman raised his tankard. "I'll drink to that." And the two men watched the last of the light disappear in peace. Is this the end of Heart in Hightown? That might be the final chapter. The last of the light disappear in peace. That feels like an ending sentence. Do you think this dark-haired nobleman is Hawk? Canon Hawk is a dark-haired nobleman. Right? He is noble. We have a nice fancy house in Kirkwall. I could see Hawk doing this, trying to play a lute poorly. Because Donnan says, the world can always use a champion or a guardsman wherever they happen to go. Donnan the guardsman, Hawk the champion of Kirkwall. Do you think that Varric wrote Hawk to be alive in Heart in Hightown at the end of things? I think so. Hawk being a mysterious, hooded figure at the end of the book. Via Dathara, the deepest fade. The pages of this book are instructions on how to reach the deepest parts of the Fade, realms so far removed they're unmarked by dreamers. Epiphany requires a mind smooth as mirror glass, still as stone. Put aside 10 years for practice and the next 100 for searching. What others have learned will ease your journey. Those who never manifested outside the Fade will find it easier to find its stillest roots, but it is rare that compulsion overtakes our brethren of the air. The deepest Fade. Raising the Sonalium. The pages of this book describe a heated argument between a group of well-dressed elves inside an elaborately arched pavilion on an island floating in a void. In the distance, haloed by a blizzard of light, thousands of elves are maintaining an elaborate magical ritual that pulls raw essence from the Fade, funneled into a sphere in the air. Through the lens of the sphere can be seen a world of indigo waterfalls and rust-red jungles, and a temple palace so frescoed and cleverly carved it is a masterpiece in itself. The well-dressed elves' shouting grows so loud it can be heard over the magic. One leaps at another, howling, and pulling out a knife burning with prismatic flame. Architects of the Grand Sonalium. A gift from Blessed Silas to Clever June as thanks for a great favour, in friendly debate over the colour of the palace's roof trim. They're fighting over what the palace will what colour it will be. Silas gifted a Grand Sonalium to June as thanks for a great favour. This paragraph is so beautifully written. It just really... Sometimes you read words or paragraphs that really just like light fires in your imagination, right? Because you can view this so perfectly. That's so amazing. They're just on the ground. This object of such a hugely immense power in this main story of the game, and they're just like trash on the ground here. Is it like are they forms of knowledge? Like lost magic to learn? Like that kind of thing? And like Solus was too weak to open the one that he had? Yeah, I need Veil Fire, don't I, for that?
That should be enough stairs. Let's see if we can reach the inverted alluvion now.
Okay. We're gonna get some Veil Fire so we can come back here to read this rune.
Hello.
Hello. I'm being attacked by librarians. They're fear demons. They're fear demons. I was warned about this.
Siram Viramalas, Shibera Melva.
Translation?
Deltos. Ilas Denar.
Now I know why there was 2 supply caches here. That's what happens when you pause your recording when you're in the middle. Anti-venom requisition on the coast, sure. That's what happens when you pause your recording when you're on your way back to try and do something and you get attacked unexpectedly by a bunch of fear demons. So fear demons are referred to as the librarians here, which is a very interesting thought. Okay. How bizarre. We're going to get the veil fire from here, and then we're going to bring it over to the other side. Something we're going to try while we have the veil fire here is, like, I don't know if anything will happen if we, like, light the braziers manually, because they're only lit automatically by interacting with the Dreadwolf statue. But if we do it all ourselves, they might stay lit. I don't know if that's going to even do anything, but it looks like they might all stay lit. So we can come back here later. If we need it. Now we slowly carry the Olympic torch back this way. I've gone the wrong way. Here. They really make you work for this lore, don't they? What the fuck is that? I just got trolled by the game. What the fuck? No way. What in the world? This one is actually called a fear demon, not a librarian. How interesting. I thought this would be called librarian as well. Jesus Christ. You know what? Perhaps there weren't any demons before the veil. And before the Fade and the physical world were separated. Maybe there were no demons. But the magic being ripped away from this place caused a transformation. I cannot believe that I went to all that effort to carry this lit Veilfire torch just for behind you. Wow. Okay. Well, at least we go back to the main walkway now. We've been flipped upside down.
Survivor of the breach. Herald of change. Hero of the South.
The Vidasala, I presume.
After fulfilling your purpose at the breach, it is astonishing to hear you still walked free among your people. Your duty is done, Inquisitor. It is time to end your magic.
Our first Canary woman character. The giant tome as a shoulder pauldron? That's so cool. That's a really neat detail. Because she ain't fighting, she's wielding her big book. She's like, fights with knowledge.
The anchor repairs tears in the veil. I would think you'd approve of that.
Is that all it does? Tell me, why hold your hand as if it's begun to pain you? I am no stranger to catastrophe, but this chaos in the south defies comprehension. The Qun left your people to curb your own magic. You've amply proven we should have stepped in long ago.
Huh. Is that a massive Sarabas next to her, by the way? Like, it looks chained up.
Is that what Dragon's Breath is for? Murdering our heads of state just to control our magic?
Do you believe closing the breach solved everything? That its consequences stopped there? The day we saw the breach, the Qun decided its action. We would remove your leaders and spare those who toil. This agent of Fenharel has disrupted everything. Lives that were to be spared, lost for him.
Who is this agent? Why do you think they work for the Inquisition?
Kill the Inquisitor, then follow me to the Dargarad.
Oh, I think I've just realized that the agent of Fenharel and Fenharel are one and the same, because Solus is running around doing stuff clearly, and they don't know or believe that he is the Dreadwolf or Fenharel. That makes a lot more sense. That they're pursuing what they believe to be an agent, but it turns out it's the real thing. God, if these Canari actually looked at the murals on the wall, they would have figured that out already. They're like, oh, it's the bold guy. Look at these fellas. God, it's a massacre here. No, so these are Sarabas. They got some smaller ones here. That's fucking cool. But the one that was next to the Villasala looked like it's some sort of massive one. Tattered note. This scrap of parchment is written in both Kunlat and the common tongue, although the letters in Kunlat are shaky. Please excuse my Kunlat. Its subtleties elude me, even with your patient teaching. We pulled everyone out of the palace. The Shem nobles assumed we were servants. The Shem nobles assumed we were servants leaving on an errand. We are hiding where you told us, waiting for signs that dragon breath has begun. Victory is in the Qun.
No wonder the Kunari translated notes into our language. It was for their non-Kunari spies.
They'd have to. Kunlat's not an easy one to learn.
Well, I knew that, but we just didn't know who or whom it was in relation to. But it is a group of non-Kunari spies. Constantly getting a critical hit percent increase every time you don't land a critical hit is cool. I'll keep our cooldown modifier though. Why can't I just cover myself in so many different amulets, you know? Elganon. We got a weapon schematic? Elganon Enaste. A tier 3 bow. Waiting for my power-up to be usable again. We have another archivist. Hold on, we got stuff to read over here. This sheaf of notes is written mostly in Kunlat, but select paragraphs have been translated into the common tongue. Those born outside the Qun will not comprehend the seriousness of using mages to help us. They believe the worst they can befall a mage is demon possession. They do not truly understand that the loss of mastery comes with a loss of the self. Those of the Qun since birth do not understand why we risk using Sarabas. We have immersed them in a sea of magic until it seems impossible they could ever do anything but drown. It is right that we enlighten you so your purpose here is clear. We have learned from this place that there lived an elven mage who saw a great wrong and sacrificed all to right it. This mage made the veil which protects us from the Fade. This veil stripped power from his rulers who had treated their people with such excess that it makes the southern kings and queens seem staid. Thus does every action carry rightness and all paths converge. In his greatest magic, the elven mage became an agent of peace through the veil. In our willingness to brave this place, we may discover how the veil can be strengthened through our own mages. For that, we risk our lives. The Sarabas who have joined in this endeavor understand the dangers and have made their choice. Remember the words of Ashkari Kozlan. Yeah, the Tome of Kozlan. Existence is a choice. There is no chaos in the world, only complexity. Knowledge of the complex is wisdom, and from wisdom of the world comes wisdom of the self. The mastery of the self is mastery of the world. Loss of the self is the source of suffering. Suffering is a choice, and we can refuse it. It is in our power to create the world or destroy it. For peace, we will endure any horror here. We will create a safer world or destroy the old one. It's really interesting that, like, the Tomb of Kozlan and how it's worded feels very much like the, you know, like the, I'm trying to think of the word for it. Like that thing that the Sith do, like, peace is a lie. And they do that little chant to themselves. I'm forgetting the exact words, but it's like, you know what I'm talking about with Knights of the Old Republic. It feels like that.
These are Vidisala's papers. She brought mages here to research strengthening the veil.
A way to clamp down magic. No wonder she's here.
It explains why the Kunari thought it was worth camping here.
Wow. Strengthening the Veil. This is why demons must be so desperate to possess and to gain access to these places. Because the demons may once have been people, and then they were trapped in the Fade when the Veil came down, and they want to so desperately return, but they have been transformed. Potentially. There's just so much to think about. There's so many layers to it, so many theories of and ways to interpret how all of this is written, you know? There's an alluvion up here. There is not a broken thing to jump up there. Maybe I will, maybe this alluvion will potentially be one that we exit out of when we return. Maybe. That might be an exit. Otherwise, I'm thinking doing a huge sprint jump and getting over there, but that feels a bit unnatural. Oh no, hang on. This doesn't curve around, does it? This goes in there. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll have to come back.
Visitors, patrons, welcome. The halls are open.
Can you tell me where a Kunari called Vidasala went?
Yes, we heard much, although she fooled herself into thinking we could not hear. Take a keystone to the Davarad. I will join you there soon and take stock of our remaining Gatlock powder. If it is something you would like to see, I sense a key nearby. I have words to open it.
Find the keystone that unlocks the Davarad. Okay. And now we have to figure shit out. Is it just this thing on the ground? Yep. And a shield. Stinking cheetah. Sir Reginald Vale of Starkhaven has the distinction of being the only champion of the Grand Tourney to win the Grand Melee by virtue of complete forfeiture. Legend has it that when any opponent struck him, a profoundly noxious odor erupted from him, such that combatants immediately yielded rather than brave the fumes. Historians have asked the royal family of Starkhaven many times how Reginald accomplished this, but they have steadfastly refused to comment. Chance to spawn a toxic cloud at target location. Oh my god. Alright, well we've got the keystone.
I found a keystone with one of the Kunari.
Yes, and you need words for their key. Maras Nira. It glows. It will open the way to the Davarad. May you find what you seek. In coming here, you strengthened the paths. I can now raise one, if you wish to go.
Strengthening the paths by being here.
You've been very helpful.
Gil Dethan was what the Elven called me. One who guides seekers of knowledge true. I was connection. One city could read the records of another, one Elven feel the memories of another. When the veil fell upon us, I marked the end of all they knew.
Ooh, like weird elven hive mind.
Find the Davarad and corner Vidasala there.
Okay. Oh, okay, we're here. So that's the Veil Fire. Look, they're confirmed, still lit. We're now over here. Oh, wait a minute. We're back at this courtyard. Oh, we're heading back. Grant access to a Canary stronghold. Oh, okay, so we're no longer doing mirrors. We're going back now. Okay. I thought we were still going to a new area, but they retreated through their mirror. Wait a minute. Hold on. So did I miss a mirror potentially? Hold on. I love how tucked away this is. I didn't even think to look in here before. Hang on. So we came out of this mirror. Oh no, that's that mirror. Okay. I was like just checking to see if we missed something. Cool. Alright, I think we're safe to return. We've been very extensive in our journey here. So, we're return to the Winter Palace to warn the others. So once again, we are returning back to the Winter Palace. Another round with the Winter Palace, and then potentially going to a Canary stronghold. And one of them was silly and dropped their keys. What I kind of like about this is every time we revisit the Winter Palace, once again, we head back to update the group on what we found. Those are sort of like these very organic ending points to like each segment. Oh, sorry, my
Your
webcam.
There are battles in Denerim's palace? Yes, and in Val Royeaux and across the Free Marches. The Winter Palace is not the only target.
The Canary are one order from destroying every noble house in the known world.
There is a bright side. Warning the ambassadors will remind them of the Inquisition's value.
Not when the Inquisition is responsible for that threat.
Oh, what? Yeah, he's bringing very organic endpoints to like discovery, checking in with the people, then going into new stuff.
They came in through us?
Yes.
How, damn it?
The elven servant handling the barrels confessed to working for the Canary.
But the servant was Orlesian. That implicates Orlais, not us.
But the barrels arrived at the Winter Palace on the Inquisition supply manifest.
How are we supposed to fight a war when we can't even trust our own people?
Do you know who got the barrels onto the Inquisition manifest?
Yes, several of the Inquisition's elven workers have gone missing. I had their backgrounds checked. They joined the Inquisition after fleeing the chaos in Kirkwall.
I remember when Kirkwall was at its worst. Many of the city's elves converted to the Qun, trying to find a better life.
And the Canary turned them into spies.
God damn.
A few years ago, we railed at the mages at Redcliffe for becoming corrupt. We did the same to the Grey Wardens. Huh. Look at us now.
I fought to protect the Inquisition in this exalted council. And for what? So we could deceive and threaten those we claimed to protect?
Once we locate the spies...
This isn't about the spies. You hid the Canary body. You all but seized control of the Winter Palace.
We did what was right, not what was politically convenient.
Do you know what this has cost us with Orlais and Ferelden? They are planning to dismantle us as we speak. And perhaps they are right.
This fucking thing.
Shit, damn it! We save Ferelden, and they're angry. We save Orlais, and they're angry. We close the breach twice, and my own hand wants to kill me. Could one thing in this fucking world just stay fixed? I need to get to the Davarad. You can all fight amongst yourselves once I'm back.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Would you Would you like us to inform the Exalted Council of the danger?
Yes. If we fail, the Exalted Council needs to know what happened. I will inform them personally.
Leliana, I can...
No, your job is hard enough already. This is my responsibility.
I'll have guards ready at the Alluvion, in case the Qunari attack the palace.
Make her watch over you.
Oh, I just thought my game crashed. It just like cut to black so quickly. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, like panicked. Holy shit. It is now under the cover of darkness. Use the keystone to activate the Alluvion leading to the Darvarad. Alright. There's no one here. Everyone's having a nap. Okay. Wow. We are heading to Qunari land now. The Darvarad. That's so cool. That scene of just like this fucking thing. Why won't everything cut? Just one thing stay fixed. That's such an amazing like and valid emotional break for our character. We've been through so much. We're allowed that one emotional outburst. And with another journey into the Crossroads complete and checking in with the Exalted Council once again, this is where we bring our episode of Dragon Age Inquisition to a close. Thank you so much for joining me today for more just massive nuclear bombs of lore. The things that were spoken here, that we've read, that have been revealed, just absolutely exceptional stuff. I hope you have been enjoying the Trespasser experience, because I am obsessed with it. It is so amazing. Thank you so much for being here today. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and I will see you next time.